Right, so here we go then, another video. This one is going to be the first one on the electrics. The clue was in the title. The 230, 240 volt electric hookup system. Now, one thing I've learned on this van build so far is that everything takes longer than you think. Sometimes you spend a day on the van and then you look back at what's done and it looks like you've hardly made any progress. Everything just seems to take time. This, I'm hoping, is going to be as quick and simple as I think it's going to be. I'm not an electrician, although I've got quite a lot of DIY experience. My electrical experience amounts to sort of fitting a few plug sockets and light switches. That's as far as it goes. So initially, looking at the electrics for the van was quite daunting. But I've found what I think is a more easier, simple solution. I do want to do everything on the van. Myself and Lynn, we're going to do everything ourselves. That's, we're going to get a certain sense of achievement from that, I'm sure. So that's the hope and the ambition, that we can actually do everything. So today, fitting the electric hookup point. So two things we need. This is the electric hookup point. It's a relatively inexpensive unit from Amazon. Screws. That will fit on the side of the van. The outside power, or shore power as it's often referred to in the van circles, plugs into there, connect up at the other side, and that will give us 230 volts electric inside the van. So that's the simple bit to connect that up. Okay. What you've then normally got to deal with is a consumer unit, RCD breakers, and the wiring inside the van. Some would argue that's probably best left to a professional electrician, although a lot of people do it themselves. Okay. What I've found to get around that is this mobile mains kit with a USB. So what's in there is a consumer unit with an RCD, so that's the protection into the van, so don't need to worry about wiring any of that up or anything. 3 240 volt plug sockets, main sockets, and a couple of USB points as well. So I'm going to run all of my electrics for the 230 volt system from that, kind of, because the main system is going to be the 12 volt system, the DC. So for the DC system, I've got another option that I'm using, which is the Bluetti AC200 Max power bank or solar charger, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be dealing with that in a future video when I'm a little bit further down the line with the 12 volt electrics, but I'll touch on that. But today I'm going to install and test this. I'm also going to time it, because I think this actually will be a quick install, simple, safe, because we've got the circuit breaker in there, the consumer unit. So we've got the safety, we've got the functionality. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine, and it's pretty straightforward. So we'll connect that up and show you how I'm going to do my electrics. I'm not saying it's the best way, but it's a way, it's a simple way. If you're not an electrician, you're not particularly confident perhaps with the electrics, and I can't see any drawbacks to it. If you can, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so while we're at it, that is the Bluetti, that's the charger, that's going to be the heart of my electrical system. I'm not going to go into detail with it now. That's for a future video when I'm a little bit further down the line with the 12 volt electrics. You can see I've got the electric cables fitted through there, and some there coming in from the other side. That's all ready to be connected up through that. But the only other thing I need in addition to that is the 230 hookup, and that's going to come through that panel there. So my job this morning, as I say, is to install that into there, and then there'll be cables that come through then for the unit. That will run the true 30 volt electrics obviously when I'm on site and I can get electric hookup. When we're off grid, they'll run through that. So that's the way my electric is going to work. As I say, I'm going to go through that in a lot more detail on a future video. This one is just the 240 volt, the mains electrics. So we'll crack on with that. Yeah, it's going through there, that panel there. So I'm going to drill out from here, so we know we've got it in the right place, fit that box and connect it up. Just to say, there's a handy cutout there to mark for the cutout for the fitting this, so that's useful. What did I say? These things always take longer than you expect, so that's what's got to go into the van, and that's the cutout. We have a little problem, only a little problem, but nonetheless it doesn't fit. That's not a good start, is it? Right, so I've cut and positioned the new cut out stencil. It's going to mark around that. Take this off. I've checked on the inside and it's good, it's where we need it to be. So a couple of pilot holes. One there. One thing I forgot, whenever I'm using this on the van, I do just put some masking tape on there. So that's my next task, get some masking tape on there just to protect the paintwork as I cut round. Right, so there we go, that's better. That'll look after the paintwork a little bit. This, by the way, is running from the power bank. I've used it quite a bit in the construction of the van so far. So yeah, it's coming useful already. So yeah, here we go. Another hole in the van. Right, so there we go, that fits lovely. Just need to mark the screw holes. Ready? And then next job is to tidy up this. There's some chaff and filings and things on there. Clean that up a little bit and then apply some hammerite. So that will just add to the time, just to leave that time to go off. Right, so for a closer look at this, what this is actually intended for is use when camping. So if you're staying on a campsite and you want some electricity when you're camping, you know you're not got a camper van or whatever with a proper electric hookup, you can take this along. It's quite a long cable that plugs into the campsite electric hookup point, and that then gives you 3 main sockets, 2 USB points, and the important bit and the main bit for me is protected by a little consumer unit built in. So there's an RCD and what's the other one? MCD? I could be wrong. I'm not an electrical expert, I don't know the jargon, but that's that. So what I can do is I've got this little adapter, which means that I can connect this. If I connect the adapter there, I can connect this to the mains and test this before I hook it up. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so that's plugged in. So if I flick these switches, the light should and does come on. So what I'm going to do now is plug in. There we go, brilliant. So it lives. And what I'm going to do is cut off most of this cable and attach that to the 240 volt hookup box that I'm currently in the process of fitting into the van, and that will then give me my 240 volts in the van with the consumer unit and everything. As simple as you like. As I said earlier, I can't see any disadvantages to doing it this way. What I will then do is I'm going to put 2 double sockets in the van and run those, simply run the cables from the sockets so that I can plug them into this when this is connected. When this is not connected, I'll run them off the Bluetti, but when this is connected, I'll just plug them into this, and that gives me my mains electricity through this, with that, all protected, nice and easy. Again, I can't see any problems with it. If you know better, please let me know. I can always go backwards. But yeah, that's it. That's my 240 volt hookup system. It's as easy as that. Right, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to take these off. I don't need these. Just unscrew those. Find a point to cut this cable off. This is going to sit where it's sitting at the back of the van there, where the bulkhead's going in, is going to be a bench. So this and the Bluetti, all the electrics will be under the bench, or the bench seat there. So they'll all be under there. So that's my electric point. So everything under there. This will be under there as well. So also then, when I'm on site, I can charge up the Bluetti from this. Just simply plug it in with its normal charger to charge it from this. So yeah, that seems like the perfect system to me. Right, so here we are, ready to fit it then. So I'm just going to apply some Sikaflex all the way around and around where the screws are going in.
Right, is it?
Yeah.
Push at the top. Top.
Right, so there's the cable fed through there. So all that remains to be done now is to connect that to this and screw that in place there, and we're ready to go. Right, so there we go then. That's in place. All that remains is to test that again now with the same process as before. Plug the extension cable into the mains and test the unit at the other side there. Let's do it. Right, so there we go. That's connected on the outside, plugged in again to the garage. There we are inside. I don't know if you can see that, but that light is on. What we're going to plug in. We'll try. The vacuum cleaner. So there we go. Mains electric hookup completed. Easy as that. The timing thing didn't really work out because I had to wait for the hammerite to dry and such. But yeah, pretty straightforward, easy installation. This cable, which has a plug on, I've already done that to test the circuit. This runs through this conduit up and round and comes out there, which is going to be, I think as you can see, a 2-pin plug, a 2-socket adapter, 2-socket, a twin socket. So yeah, that's the way the system works. So happy days, very pleased with that. The next one on the electrics is going to be for the 12 volt, so keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, that's my electric hookup, the mains one, which was something I was, yeah, I wouldn't say dreading, but not confident to do because of the fact that it is mains electric. I'm linking up to a van, but I am very happy with the way that went. Yeah, so that's great. Thanks for watching. If you've not already, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.